They are speaking from their experience. And to me, this is the most valuable knowledge you can acquire. Now, what I hope and pray is that you apply it. Because this is not about you gathering more knowledge. This is about you listening to people who have completed the journey you are on. Now imagine if you are taking a road at the first time. The road is pretty much light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. Okay? You don't know what to expect. And then you meet someone who said, hey, I know this road really well. I've been on it. I reached the same destination you are planning to reach. Let me tell you what the road is about. Avoid the left, there is a hole. Right? That tree fell down, and we managed to cut it out, push it to the side and go. So don't panic at the dark stretch, because the dark stretch, I promise you, right, the road is smooth. I've been on it 100 times. That's what they're sharing. Now, you also need to recognize the fact that whatever challenge you are facing right now, wherever you are building, whether it's an unsupportive family, all right, whether it's people teasing you because you haven't achieved some level of respectable success, or you are in a market where your government structure does not understand network marketing. All right, there's no regulation in this, and you are being vilified or criticized. Okay, media or Google. Every speaker today has been through that, and they overcame, and they're still victorious. That's an important lesson you need to learn. That whatever challenges you're facing right now, if you don't quit, you will make it. Because that's the ultimate message of network marketing. And I've always said this, and I want to say it again. I remember Dr. C. Vijay telling me this. When I told him, I'm afraid I will fail in network marketing. And Dr. C. Vijay sitting down his house, watching them do this. One day we'll hear that story. Right? He told me, Bhattan, you cannot fail. Network marketing is something you cannot fail. Only if you quit, you're considered you fail. But if you don't quit, and you keep going and going and hanging on there, okay? Fighting, overcoming every challenge. All right, Arun George, you're going to make it. Yashi, Andre, all right? There are people building on the ground in different geographical locations. So my philosophy of network marketing is, if you don't quit, you will make it. Now, when will you make it? As a combination of factors, like what Japa spoke about. All right? And if you just apply everything you heard today and hang on to the dream you found, put it here, you can see. You can steal from everywhere, but you can't steal from your heart. And you're going to make it. You need to believe this 100%. And tonight, on the 18th, the final speech is none other than Dr. Sri. And I've always spoken about him in many ways. I identify Dr. Sri Vijay as one of the most successful Asian businessmen in the network marketing industry. Because you have to understand, our story originated in Asia. And there is a few or none of a success story of this magnitude from Asia to the rest of the world. Because 99% of big network marketing companies like ours, we are considered today one of the big ones. Right? We generate each other. You understand? 20 years ago, we were a small independent team. Alright, and I still remember when I meet people from the Thais, big giant million companies, I had a bit of an inferiority complex, Like, oh, what company? We just started 6 months or 1 year ago, we are growing, never had that good. But today, I can meet the number one distributor from ABC company from United States or Europe. Alright? And the roles have changed. Now I look at them and go, 100% e-commerce? No. Every country in the world? No. The most amazing products in the industry? No. The highest paying Complan in network marketing industry? No. What? Oh, you got everything there. And on top of that, we have Japa and Dato Sri. So Dato Sri is successful. And you know, sometimes I get irritated with our founders, you know, Japa and Dato. Because Japa and Dato are the low profile kind of guys. Whenever I want to brag about something, they will always say, relax. They will hear about this. We don't have to give them out. Right? And this was my journey with them. And today, they have proved themselves right and proved me wrong. Today, everyone knows this. We are no longer that humble Asian company trying to be big in network marketing. Today, we have companies that copy us, companies that compare to us. Last time, we used to say we were like other companies to describe us in the industry. But today, of evolution, of empowering, right? That distribution. And there came a point where I became his student. He's downline, he's my direct upline. So I'm his direct referral. Not many people can say that in this organization. Alright? And I became his student. And I learned from him. And he's an upline, but he's a complicated upline. You understand? He used to call me like 2 in the morning, I'll never forget. Because he wanted me to get out of my comfort zone. Because when we were building Malaysia, India, you know, London, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, it was not common in the network marketing industry or any business to have business meetings at 2 in the morning. 2 in the morning, you're supposed to be in the club. You understand? When I was younger, okay? And he would call me and say, Bhagan, come home. What time? 8 p.m., normal. 9 p.m., acceptable. 10 p.m., limited to Asian culture. 11 p.m., borderline Asian culture. 12 midnight, no culture. But invite me home at 12. But Anna invited me like, hey, come at 1. And I'll go at 1. Ready to meet my upline, asking questions, seek guidance. And I have a lot of questions like you to ask the upline. And this is grand upline, okay? Can you imagine going to the source? And I would go there and I'll sit down on the sofa. It's beautiful. He's coming down after 1 hour. 1 hour in the last chapter, 1 hour waiting for that to still is a good sign. It's a good day. And me and Japa used to say, oh my God, I wasted 1 hour. He over the. He said, Bhagan, I cannot waste your time. Only you can waste your time. You.
Okay, apa tu siapa isi? Dia start naik, mati tinggal. Bos itu fan bodoh. அது ஒரு வேலை இருக்கு. ஏசியன் கல்ச்சர் படி 8 மணிக்கு கூப்பிடலாம், 7 மணிக்கு கூப்பிடலாம், 9 மணிக்கு கூப்பிடலாம். நைட்டு 1 மணிக்கு கூப்பிட்டா என்னையா? இவரு சீஃப் விஜயேஸ்வரன் ஏசியன் கல்ச்சர் படி 8 மணிக்கு கூப்பிடலாம், 9 மணி, 11 மணி. ஓகே, பரவாயில்ல. 12 மணி அதுதான் கடைசி.
I said, yeah, I like Kung Fu. Very good. Play Kung Fu in Chinese. with very confusing subtitles. 2 hours. Both of us staring at the TV. I'm trying to make eye contact with him. And he looks at me being distracted from the Kung Fu.
Bro, உங்க கனெக்ட் பண்ணுங்க.
கூட 2 GB அது 1 GB கூட 2 GB ஓகே.
எனக்கு
for our life. That's the life we left when we were thinking. I hope you know what I'm talking about. Environment where it was impossible to switch off. He would provoke you. To eventually find your answers. That's a mentor you must find in your journey of life. And like you, I was a tough downline. I wasn't an empty cup all the time. And the most amazing thing about this man, my upline, he doesn't have the thought process of giving up on people. You can be the most stubborn. You can even hurt him, emotionally. You can be not following his instructions. You can do many things that any other person would have kicked you out of their lives. But he never gave up. He never gave up on all of us. And I don't think it is patience. I think it is love and care. And to have somebody who cares for you, who focuses on your growth, and never gives up on you. And the most important thing about Dato Sri Vijay is on your darkest hour, on your toughest period of your life, I will vouch, and so many will vouch, that he will be there for you at his inconvenience. That if you are fighting a battle, you are never alone as long as you belong to Dato Sri Vijay's family. I believe that the world today is running out of people who truly care about humanity. I don't know who said this while talking about Dato Sri. That most founders today would have a private island. They might call it the VP Island, like Vijay or VJ Island or Vijay or Japa. You understand? They would have a yacht and call it, Blossom. I don't know. All right. Okay, guys. I traveled with him. I had the honor of being in service to him for a trip. For I think 9 months I traveled with him all over, wherever he went, just to be in service. My mother said, the only way to truly learn from a teacher is to be in service to your teacher. And I followed that history. I seek permission, I followed him, carried his bags, loaded onto the plane, wherever. And every hotel we went in Europe and Asia, from the time he gets down from his car to his presidential suite, he would have already introduced me to 10 prospects. And that's the reason why we are where we are today. Because when your founders never stop being networkers, your organization is going to grow huge, like we are right now. And you need to understand that as much as Dato Sri has many titles, right, in Malaysia, overseas, he speaks at the World Economic Forum, the European Union. He has authored so many books, and all of you in History of Silence, 2 minutes from Abyss. right? But to me, I will always see him as the greatest upline in the industry of network marketing. But if there ever is a benchmark of the greatest upline in the industry of network marketing, then there can be only one name. That is Dato Sri Vijay Ishwan. And on day 2 of BCC, you will have the privilege, honor to hear from this great man. So please help.
There's a moment in your mouth when the fire takes you. They can say what they want. This world is screaming out for me.
Baik.
Boss one rank பண்ணல.
இல்ல அதெல்லாம் பிரச்சனை இல்லை.
நம்மளுடைய great upline Dato Sri Vijay Ishwan.
அவரு சொல்லி ரொம்ப நேரம் ஆச்சு, இப்பதான் வருது.
Thank you. Thank you. It's always wonderful. And home for us is always been. It's awesome to see all of you from all over the fills my heart. This is exactly what we live for. This is exactly the reason why we do what we do. So it's amazing to see you going on with so much energy. If we can reach out and touch hearts like this, then we have truly succeeded. Our 23-year journey has truly been one that has been productive, that has been impactful. And you are the reason why. So thank you. Thank you very much. But then VCon is about making some serious decisions in your life. People come to VCon to change.
People will come to VCon because they need a change in their lives. And change always comes with a price. So yesterday we talked about renew. Renew is when you recognize the need for a change. And when you revive, the change actually begins. The thing to remember is that each and every one of you have the potential to be truly great. This is not something that I'm merely saying. This is something that you have to believe. Because you have been gifted with an incredibly powerful tool, the human mind. And because of that, you can dream. And because of that, you can plan. You can project. You can prepare. In the future is something that is in your hands. The one thing that you must always remember is never let anyone steal your future. Your future or your destiny is in your hands. And only you can make it come true. Many times along the way, people have asked me, what do you need to start a business? What do you need to begin this journey? How do you become successful? And among the most ridiculous questions that is always asked to me is, how do I get the money? It's always asked to me, where do I find the money to start business? Where did you get your money? And the important thing that I like to share with you today is when my brother Japa and me, and then I think the person who can actually talk about it most is my life partner, my wife. We didn't have money, but money was not the most important thing. There were a list of other things that was critically more important. And when we went after that list, the money found its way to us. You cannot go digging for money, or chasing money. You have to create a vessel, and the vessel is yourself. So when you create that vessel and it is ready, then you will find what you need to start. But the dream must be big enough. It must be big enough that the facts do not count. Because facts can hold you down. The so-called truth can hold you down. The so-called reality can hold you down. And the people who hold you down are people who cannot dream. The people who hold you down do not see your dream. And the people who hold you down are simply people who have not been able to fulfill their own dreams. Do not let other people tell you what you can or cannot do. This has to be a journey. What you can and cannot do lies only within you. And therefore, you need to explore your fullest potential. And as and when you reach that potential, everything changes. When you change, the world changes. You don't go around trying to change the world. You change and the world changes. You become the vessel. You become the instrument of change. Basically, you need to be able to dare. Because ultimately, no risk, no gain. Nothing in life comes to you without some element of risk. Everything that you get easily, you lose easily. What you fight for to obtain, you will fight to let go. So the simple secret lies within you, nowhere else. Usually, I like to show people what dare means, because sometimes when I say dare, it doesn't come across so clearly in your mind. You're still trying to understand what I mean when I say dare. The people who dare to do things, and they dare to do it just because. They're willing to do it just because. Just because means no reason. They do it because it can be done. They challenge the odds. Usually I have a very famous video that I showed during most of VCon, which is called People Are Awesome. So today, however, I've decided to show something else. A little video that shows you how people are willing to risk their lives simply to prove a point that they can do it. And this is what is amazing. They risk their lives virtually to the very edge, and they do it literally every day. Their practice sessions alone in doing this, it's a game called parkour. Parkour I've always admired, because this is turning the inner city into a jungle, so to speak. And it's amazing how they do it, their dexterity, their flexibility, their versatility. And they take every risk at the move of a coin in a split second. And they pull it off. And I'm sure many don't. But what are they doing it for? Is it for money? No. They're risking life and limb in order to gain just a moment of success. And success for them means they made it to the other side. That is the essence of dare. So let's first take a look at this video. Let's look at what daring is all about. Because today, that's the first step to dare.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now, just that few minutes, you saw people take incredible risks with their lives. They were jumping through space. They were literally doing somersaults and leaps. And any one of those leaps or somersaults going wrong would have been death. They're doing it simply because it can be done. Now, I'm not saying that we need to do this. However, that is what the human mind is capable of. If we truly believe and they are willing to dare, then we are willing to change. Because change comes at the edge of daring. And that's a very, very powerful thing. Change comes from the heart. Change is driven when you have your back against the wall. So the many times in our journey, Jabba, myself, the partners, the company has been challenged. Many times we have hit the wall. The fact that we stand here after 23 years is a message that we will not give in. We will fight back. We will overcome the challenge out there. We will overcome. Simply because of one thing and one thing only. Because we know in our hearts that this business and what we do helps more people than anything else out there at the moment. We have built champions around the world, but champions are not made in harmony and peace. Champions are not made by in a swimming pool or in a resort somewhere. Champions are made when they are pushed to the wall. Champions are made when they have to fight back. So challenges come to us, always. In this video, you saw what these kids were able to achieve. But what they were able to achieve does not show the number of them that were injured, that fell, that died, that did not make it. All of the injuries are not in the video. It's those successes that make it. In life, it is exactly the same. For every person that you see become successful, there's 100 on the way, still trying, still struggling, still falling. And therein lies the secret to success, being able to pick yourself up and focus on the game. And that is the most important thing, never taking the eye off the ball. A dream is not won easily. A dream is like scaling a mountain. It is taking a risk, hanging on to your fingertips sometimes, falling sometimes, starting again sometimes. But that's what life is all about. That's what makes it all such a wonderful journey. I'd like to take this moment to start with another aspect of Revive. As you begin with Revive and you begin planning and projecting for the future, you need to also prepare for giving back to society. Raise yourself to help mankind. Raise yourself is the first part of the journey, and Beacon is very much focused on that. But never forgetting, the second part of the journey has always been to help mankind. That means something that you do from the very beginning must start paying back. And this is something we basically began doing from the very onset. And it is my belief That is what has always saved us, because we kept giving back. We found ways to give back. We created pathways so that we could actually go out and help people who were unable to help themselves. And this journey began many years ago, and because of that, the Rhythm Foundation was formed. And today I'd like to be able to discuss what the Rhythm Foundation does and continues to do. But more importantly, I like to be able to share with you someone who has shared my life, someone who has walked with me every step of the way, someone who has basically supported me, who has held me, who has sometimes pulled me, pushed me, and been by my side the entire journey. And this has been my blessing. In the last 23 years have been challenging years for us, but these are the years that have made us into who we are today. I need to bring up my wife, Datin Sri Umayal Ishwar.
What Rhythm Foundation does. Oh, I'm not standing here as the chairperson of the foundation and the face, but I want to talk about our journey when we began 23 years ago. Because today you see us, the two of us, and the success story is what you hear today. But it wasn't that when we began, because we were both holding a 9-to-5 job, and we were the ordinary people just like everybody else, but we had a dream. All right, so this company today was as a sparkle, okay, a tiny drop of Tadasri's vision of what he wanted to do and how he wanted to touch lives. And all we had was that dream, because he always always kept telling me that he never wanted to work for anyone. He wanted to do something that will be meaningful, that we go out there and touch lives. So knowing me, I supported him. I wanted to, but I was happy with the 9 to 5 job, the money that you bring, and the safety net it gives, right? And I'm sure all of you will be in that same position. And we question ourselves, do we really need to take this risk? And go out of our comfort zone. Why? Because we are getting paid. Okay, our bills are paid, and then we can put a little bit of money aside. And tomorrow, in the future when we retire, that we have that money and we can be happy. That's how we all begin to think, because we never want to discover the potential. The potential and the extent this body and this mind of ours can go, because the capacity that we have within us, every single time when we face a challenge, now 3 years of journey from the time we began until today, we faced all kinds of challenges. I mean, I personally have come to a point and say, okay, I think I'm done. This is not for me. All right, this is too much. I need my life back. I'm sure each and every one of us, at some point or the other, we keep questioning ourselves every single day. But you don't give up. We don't give up so easily and walk away from that dream. Like how Dato Sri said, don't let anyone else steal your dream and what you want to achieve in life. I mean, asked for a better partner in business. That's Jabadas.
That is so true. To my brother Japa, wherever you are listening to us, we love you.
So sometimes when you take this risk, and you go beyond your capability, then you find the right people come your way. And I always say that businesses, or whether what you do out there, if you do with love, with kindness, with compassion, nothing will go to waste. Whatever your effort that we put in, what that we're doing in this life, nothing will go waste, because we have to put that much effort and focus in what we are doing. And I truly believe that, every challenge that we have been through in the last 23 years that we have been through, I'm sure each and every one of you are going through, or at this point, at different stages. 2020 has not been an easy year for a lot of people. And for me, especially in the work with Rhythm Foundation, we have come across so many people who have lost their jobs. And going through, mental issues because of the challenges that they're coming their way. And I always keep saying, even for us, in the last year, that I have learned a lesson is to stop blaming everything else around us. Don't look outside for solutions. Don't. It will never come. You have to look within you. Because that power to bring about the change and to live your dream is within you. Is within each and every one of us. We underestimate ourselves and we think that we are not capable, we will not be able to do it, and we always pull ourselves down. That's the first thing we do, and that's the first thing we've got to stop doing. And in this business, that I always, when I talk about it, because like Tadasri has said, our journey together and been 31, going to be 31 years together. And in this business and in this company,
31 years, but it sometimes feels like 31 days.
and in the journey in this company and building this together with everyone has been 23 years, going to be 23 years. And if you ask me today whether I have any regrets, if I would do something different, no way. No way I will choose anything else, because I've made friends who have become family in this business that I've not known them. I've just met them in this journey, and they have become very much part of who we are and our life. And I would not have met them if not for this journey that we have made. So there's so many things that is good that has happened in this journey. If you ask me the difficult times, that's a lesson that I've learned, and I would take that as part of my life. And the positive events that have happened, and I didn't want to speak for more than 5 minutes, and Datasri had to come up and stand next to me and hold my hand and say, like, continue, see something.
Even now.
And today, because I see the lives that have changed, I see people's life for better.
To everyone out there who's in the same journey, it is an important thing to have family with you. In my case, it is my wife. And our journey together has not been easy. Like she says,
our challenges during the tough times, there were times we wanted to give up, and we are not infallible, and there were many times we wanted to give up, but somehow we pushed each other and we pulled through. Every time, and with every challenge that came from outside, our own relationship grew. We became stronger inside, and that is the gift that every challenge brings. So, what I'd say to you is, this is a business that's built among teams, and the first team is usually with those who are closest to you. Husband and wife is the greatest team to start.
The best.
So when people come up to me and ask me, what do I do? Because my husband is against it. What do I do? My wife is against it. I said to them, if you cannot convince your husband or your wife, then why bother trying to convince anyone else? First and foremost, convince your husband, convince your wife. That's your first challenge, most important challenge. Then the world starts. So then you have your spouse, your partner, like this. So that's the gift that I'd like to share with you today. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for my wife, Jatin Sri Umaya Alishwar. So, a lot of times I get asked these questions. It's so difficult to do. It's so difficult to do. How do I do this? It's so difficult to do. And there are so many answers I could give people, but the best answers are visual. The best answers are visual. There are people who have only half of what we have. There's a very famous story about a man who was complaining that he had no shoes. And he was complaining about it all the time to everybody that he met. Until the day came, he was silent. And when he was asked why he was silent, he said, I saw a man today, and he had only one leg. And I began to realize how lucky I truly am. Likewise, sometimes we have to remind ourselves, even as a baby, the strength a child can have in facing the world. An infant who's starting off life, how beautiful it is to be able to reach out with your hearts and feel what that infant is going to go through for the rest of its life. But at that moment in time, when this infant was being fitted with an additional arm, she was so full of joy. Sometimes we need to be just grateful. Gratitude is the best place to start life. Every morning being grateful is the greatest secret to happiness and the greatest secret to success. Let's take a moment to look at this child who changed my day and continues to change it. Being grateful is a very, very powerful motivation. There is nothing that comes close to it. So people will look at this child and say, what can this child do? Even with an artificial arm. I'll tell you what this child can do. This child can potentially play basketball because that has actually happened. Nothing stops someone whose heart is in place. Nothing stops someone whose determination is driven with daring. Nothing stops someone who has decided he can do it. Let's see this baby potentially play basketball and see what that would look like. That's basically it. Either you see impossible or you see I am possible. And that depends entirely on your point of view. It's perspective, isn't it? So if you say it's impossible, impossible it is, because there's nothing you can achieve. But the minute you say I am possible, anything can be done. This baby could be chopping wood next. Why ever not? Chopping wood, is that possible? Well, let's see. Chopping wood indeed. There you go. There you go. So who's going to tell me now that you have problems? Which one of you is going to tell me now that you have problems? What's holding you back? Here are people who have challenged the odds and turned it around. You never say die. You never give up. That's the whole purpose. Reviving begins when you set your mind. The change is born. Reviving begins when you begin to see. When you do not let the odds beat you. Because the odds can be overwhelming. Wherever you are right now, you could be facing challenges, you could be facing problems, but so what? Because you can stand up. You can fight back. I happen to be born in the year of the rat. So there's this very famous animation I show in every beacon. And it's critical that you see this with me. I totally relate to it because there have been many times in my life where I've had to go through what this rat has to go through. So from one rat to all the other rats out there, 350,000 rats. Let's see what we can do.
Such feelings coming over me. There is wonder in most everything that I see. And I won't be surprised if it's a dream. I'm on top of the world. This is the end. Use your phone, friend. This is the end. My only friend. The end of our love.
And that's it, guys. We are in the year of the rat right now. And therefore, it's critical for you to know rats come back and thrive. We just ended the year of the rat, sorry. So we're into the year of the bull. So from rat to bull, perfect timing. All right? Now, sometimes we have to go out there and become a bull. And stop listening to people who feed garbage into your ears. Stop listening to the naysayers. Stop listening to the people who say, you cannot do this. Stop listening to people, because listening to people can be your death. All right? And be the death of you. So talking about the year of the bull, it's interesting that we have another very interesting animation. I know it's a series of animations, but it's a little bit of entertainment because we have so many languages out there, so many cultures out there, so many countries out there, so many people coming from different backgrounds. And these simple animations carry a very strong message. Every single one of them. That rat simply showed what you can do when you are down, that you can come back, that you can survive, that you can thrive. And listening to people is sometimes the biggest mistake we can make. There are times that we do need to listen. And there are clearly times we need to be there. So since we're in the year of the bull, let's look at this animation where a couple of bulls are talking about crocodiles. Watch out for the crocodiles in your life. So you see, listening to the people by the side is always dangerous. You know what it is that you're looking at, recognize it, make your decision, move forward, never look back. That's ultimately the key, the secret to success. And the secret to success is ultimately making that decision to change. So changing is a very powerful thing in me. It's always been my practice to show a few videos here and there to emphasize my point. Because the things that I have said, you have seen, you have heard, you will continue to see and hear in videos right across the internet. And there's so many of them. And I'm just going to be reinstating and reinstalling in your mind much more powerfully. And it's important that this message stays into your mind. These videos are ones that affected me, that basically changed my day, sometimes even changed my path. So in this time where millennials and centennials are so video driven, where 3 minutes can change a lifetime, it is so critical sometimes to choose which 3 minutes they are. So coming to this is another very favorite video of mine of a lady who I simply cannot believe sing about change. She blows my mind. Every time I see this video, it blows my mind. And she just caught me by surprise all those years ago. The first time I saw it, I want to leave this message with you before I begin my question and answer session. It's a very powerful message indeed. Please take it to heart. Because change is exactly what you need. And change is exactly what you see right now. It's change.
सारा देश जाने है कि आज बदलाव जरूरी ही नहीं बल्कि निश्चित होवे पर जैसो गांधी जी ने कहो है कि जो बदलाव आप देश में देखना चाहो वो खुद में भी होना जरूरी होवे आज मैं वो सोच रही हूँ जो इससे पहले कभी ना थे और वो गाना गाऊं जो इससे पहले कभी ना गुनगुनाया
Change is constant. Change is inevitable. Let's stop the change. Change, be the change. Change perspectives, change behaviors, change leadership, change, be the change. Change is the thing you need to do. My frames are full in the world, be the change. Fight for change, fight for change, fight for change and fight for change. Join the change and be the change. Change, be the change. Be the change.
Okay, so sometimes instead of me sitting and talking and in essence sharing with you all the time,
கீழே வண்டி இருக்குல்ல
மாத்தி
ஒயிட் ஷாப் 10 மணி
குவாலிட்டி இல்ல அப்படின்னா கண்டிப்பா காசு இருக்கவங்கள பிசினஸ் பண்ண முடியாது. இந்த ப்ராசஸ் என்ன அப்படின்னா எங்கேயும் காசு இல்லை, எங்ககிட்டயும் காசு இல்லை.
Money is, Christy 99, here, let me tell you this. Money is the last thing that you need. Money is something that you will need, you know. That itself is your biggest challenge. It will be your biggest obstacle. Because in essence, success has to be earned. And it begins with the very first thing. So scraping to find that money is your first challenge. We did it. Everyone I know does it. In essence, if you take a look at the top 10 most richest men in the world, many of them started with no money. Many of them, in fact, almost every one of them started in a garage somewhere. We speak. About your drive, your daring, your determination. And the money will come.